So before I start this video, I just want to let you guys know that this is a Scion TC 2005 to 2010 Wilwood big brake kit. I'm going to go ahead and post a picture of the product number that I went ahead and used on this video. And it is basically compatible with 03 to 08 Corolla. That is CELES and XRS, Matrix, base model XR and XRS. Pontiac Vibe, base model and GT. Same with 6th and 7th gen Celica. This is 94 all the way to 2005. They all share the same front brakes. It is very, very similar. They are all very similar. All bolting holes will line up. And I just want to post this video just to show you guys the quality. The quality is there. It is a very, very high quality kit. I haven't tested the brakes out yet. There's gonna be a video for that. I kind of wish I did more testing on my Corolla, like braking power from like going 60 miles to stop. I kind of wish I did more testing, but I do have a couple of friends with Corolla XRSs. Hector being one of them. I know you watch some of the videos. I could maybe borrow his XRS. And maybe do some testing. Maybe one day I'll hit him up and we'll do a collab video or something. Other than that, I still haven't bled the brakes. Someone was actually going to help me today. I just pretty much installed them and they fit perfectly fine, and they clear my Matrix M Theory wheels, which are 17x7, I believe. I'm not too sure, but I think they're pretty much the same as the Scion TC 17-inch stock wheels that came with the Scion TC. So I kind of figured Wilwood was like, oh, we're gonna make a kit that works with your stock wheels. One question I'm getting a lot is, does this clear Celica GTS 16-inch wheels? The answer is no. It's not going to. It's very, very minimal spacing. You can maybe get away with using wheel spacers, but I wouldn't. That's about it. Stay tuned for the following videos on performance, how they work, etc., etc. Other than that, please enjoy the video. Thank you guys for watching. I haven't forgot about the raffle video. I did say I was going to make it. Give me about a week or two and I will make sure to post the raffle giveaway video, so stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for watching the content. Enjoy. So what we're going to start off first with is the rotor. We want to make sure to put it together because it comes separate. You can see the box right here, part number 170-9011 is the centerpiece. You can see, and in that same kit we get the bracket right here, part number 250-9012. That's the bracket for the caliper mounting point on the knuckle to the new caliper from Wilwood. And then we have the hardware right here, which is part number 230-4572. And this is the rotor, part number 160-1296-2. Is it held on by tape? Oh, it's held on by tape. Okay, well, let me open it up. So all we're going to do is attach the Wilwood hat to the rotor itself. Doesn't matter which way, where it goes like that, but it does matter that this is facing up. You'll see the arrow and the part numbers and whatnot. That has to be facing up. So we're gonna put our part like that, and then we're gonna use the bolts and washers through the back side. And we need to use red Loctite. That's a very, very important step. We need to use red Loctite. I got some right here. So gonna go ahead and use a thread locker, and then we're gonna torque everything down to 12 pound-feet, or I should say 13 pound-feet, and we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So you want to do them like this, like that, when you're torquing them down. And before you start torquing one down, make sure you hand tighten all of them Make sure you have Loctite on them. Make sure they all go down with no trouble. I had no trouble making all of them go down. They all went down very easy, finger tight. And once you got all of them finger tight, that's when you go with your torque wrench and torque them all down. So I know you guys want to quickly dive in and install the rotors and calipers, but I want you to do something first before anything else. Break that free. You want to break that free. If you don't break it free, how are you going to install your caliper or your brake line? Do that first before anything else. If you can't get that off, then don't bother doing this. Do that first. Soak it with something like WD-40. Use the right tools. Use a flare wrench. It's 10mm flare wrench. These Harbor Freight ones suck, but it's the only thing I have. I highly recommend you don't buy these. So I already went ahead and broke it free. You can see this bottom part is the one that's twisting, and this is kind of seized, but I already broke it free. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the 14mm for the brake line, because you can see my brake line is twisting because this is the only thing that's rotating right now. And really removing the 14 right here on the brake line, it gives us more slack to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that 14 right there. So we already got our brake line off. You can see you want to quickly do the next step to install the brake line, but I already went ahead and removed the caliper. 117 right here, another one right here, and it removes the whole brake caliper assembly, the OEM one. So at that point, we'll just remove the rotor, get a lot of stuff out of the way, and let's go ahead and install our brake line with our new caliper. The amazing part of this new brake line is that this rotates without the hose rotating, so we can easily just thread it in through there. So we want to get our caliper with the brake fitting right there. We're going to want to twist that in as much as we can. So we already went ahead and installed the brake line to the caliper itself. Make sure to route it through the back so you can mount it right here. We're going to go ahead and tighten this up and put the clip back in. Part number for the caliper is 120 11131. And the part number for the brake line fitting is, it's brake line fitting with adapters, 220 9365. It is specifically made for the Scion TC 2005 to 2010, but it works for the Corolla as well, Celica, Matrix, and Pontiac Vibe. So I already got that tie. I still gotta put the C-clip on, but I just want to focus on that later. I'm gonna focus on the spindle itself. Make sure to put your brake caliper on something so it doesn't hang. And we're gonna focus on taking off this dust shield by removing the 10mm that are around it. 1, 2. Oh, right here. 3. So we're gonna take those 3 off. Just use a 10mm wrench or socket, and that will remove the dust shield. But you have to make a little cut right here. You're gonna cut right here and then right here, so that you could just remove the whole dust shield without having to pop out the knuckle, or the spindle. So already removed those 3 10mm bolts. Only 2 of them survived though. The other one broke off, you can see. And now I already went ahead and did my cut right here. Cut that open, bent this out of the way. And we gotta move this dust shield because we can't reuse it because the rotor's too big. So let's get out of here. Just pull on it down hard with both hands. And there you have it. Dust shield is off. Set that aside. We're not gonna need that no more. And you can go ahead and clean this up real quick if you want to. But now we're gonna focus on putting the caliper bracket right here real quick. So the caliper bracket is 250-9012, and we're gonna use the side with the studs popping out. These studs are popping out towards you, so it would be like this. So it would go like this. And there you have it. So for the hardware for the brake caliper bracket, it's gonna be 230-9015 Also another Scion TC specific part, and we're gonna assemble it like this: the bolt, spacer, and then this washer, or I should say bolt, washer, and spacer right here. It's not really a spacer, it's just to like kind of not damage the threads when it's inside the hole right here. It'll go like that, and you can see. So we're gonna put some thread locker on there and put the bracket back on. Don't wimp out on the thread locker. I put a lot of it just to be on the safe side. So these are gonna want to be torqued down to 75 pound-feet. Make sure you do that. This is a very crucial, important component on crucial piece of your braking system, so you need to torque all this stuff down. So these brake rotors are dummy proof. They literally have an arrow pointing on which direction they're going to be rotating, and we're going to put the rotor on, and now we're going to start putting the caliper on right here. And the hardware used for that one is right here. Oops, trying to get that shim to fall out. It is part number 230-9014, and it is another Scion TC specific part. So let's go ahead and install the caliper. So there you have it. It's already installed. You guys can see the pattern right here. It's big washer, spacer, and then little washer, tiny washer I should say, the gold ones. So Wilwood provides all those shims and all those copper shim spacers to make sure that this is aligned with the caliper, and you can see it is pretty close aligned. So I'm just gonna leave it alone, but that's the reason why they provide a lot of these. So if it's not centered, you can use these to align it. So we're not gonna use all of them. We only use the right amount. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the brake pads in there. And I will be using brake pads. Oh, I don't have them on me. So I will be using the brake pads that came with the kit. It is 150-8855K. For more information on these, go online and check. And they're just gonna slide in right here really easy, but we took off that one little thing that holds them in place. They should slip right in like that. And we're gonna put this back on and tighten it. So the proper name is caliper bridge bolt. I had to look it up in the instructions here. These instructions are really, really great, and they give you torque specs and just tell you how to install it. And they also give you an exploded view. Here, I'll show you the exploded view that they show you guys right here. So in case you don't know how to install them, really, really simple. It's dummy proof. So that's it. They're already installed. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is reattach our brake line, but first we're gonna make sure this is 100%. Oh yeah, this was tight, so now we're gonna put the clip to put it back on to hold the brake line in place, because you can see it's rocking still. So there you have it. Clip is installed, brake line is tightened. This is reinstalled, tightened right here. This right here is movable. You can move it left and right, so that way you can even out your brake line. I feel like that's even. And that's it. This is tight. Just gonna double check everything once I clean up, but that's about it. Now this is procedures to bleed the brakes, and they say to get the ones at the highest point. So these are the highest points, and we're gonna open these so that we can bleed the system. So we're gonna open these, and that's a different video. There's a million videos on YouTube on how to bleed the brakes. Go ahead and watch them. Wilwood says it themselves. Uppermost bleed screw to bleed air from the caliper. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now real quick.